We're live. You're here. You're alive and you're showing up. Thank you. So, do you know what you want or do you know what you need? I started talking about that a little bit yesterday. Need is what I kept saying for the longest time. I just need this to stop. I just need this to stop. But I didn't know what I wanted. And a lot of that was because I didn't have that modeled in my life. And I'm wondering that for you. Who's modeling for you what you want, not just what you need? We need the basics. We need food, clothing, and shelter, right? And our kids need the basics, food, clothing, and shelter. And what we all deserve is somebody who's going to hold us precious. And a lot of the time as children, we didn't have that. We started talking about that a little bit yesterday and how important it is for children to have somebody that can take care of not just their basic needs, but also their emotional needs. And it's so important for you as well. So if you didn't have that as a child, it's time to start that now for yourself. You cannot change the past. And of course, Bernadette, I know that. Yes, I know. But do you want to keep dragging those skeletons behind you? Right. So what we need to do then is to start to reparent ourselves in the way that we wish and want. So the work that I do is to help with some completion so you can let go of those past wishes and you can start with what you want. Want is so much more stronger. The wishes, you can be out there, right? And they can keep you in the past. I wish my mom talked to me this way. I wish my dad did this. I wish this teacher showed up. I wish my life was different. And it's okay. It's okay. So the future possibility of you thriving is so possible. But if you're in your head all the time, that's why we do these breath breaks, and you don't take the time to listen to what's in that heart, it's going to stay up here. And it needs to come out this way, but it needs to start with you first. And not what you think you want, but what do you feel? So remember that I wanted to have my own home for me and my two kids after all the craziness that they'd gone through. And so no matter what happened, I could see it. Remember, we kept struggling. Why couldn't we get that? We knew we wanted that, but we didn't know why. Something kept detouring. So we had to shift a little bit. So I said to my kids, how is our home going to feel like? How's it going to feel like? So we sat and we named some feelings. So my daughter said cozy. My son said calm. And I said like a sanctuary, sacred. But then we had to connect the dots and go back for a minute. Where in our lives did it feel calm? Where did it feel cozy? Where did it feel like a sanctuary or sacred? So for myself, in nature, that's how and when I felt like a sanctuary and sacredness. For my daughter, she said it felt like the coziness was in these blankets, these special blankets that she had from this other space that we were temporarily living in, and her special bed and being held and hugged. And my son said calm, where it was just the quietness in these different places that he had experienced. And we put our time and our feelings together and we started to imagine what our home would look like. And literally, probably within a month, because we were on the same page of what we wanted it to feel like, not only did it show up, But there were trees in the backyard, the oldie place with these houses, townhouses that had trees in all of the town that we needed to live in. And my daughter was to have this cozy little nook area, and my son was to have the calm. We all had that sacredness in the space in the center. And I wish that for you. But you need to give that time for yourself to carve and to be with that. So as we do the breath break today, what's something that you want? Is it a career? Is it a relationship? Maybe it's your connection, your relationship with finances and money. Maybe it's a place you want to call home. Maybe it's the kind of family that you want. Because you're born into a family, and they're blood, and you always will be having that blood connection. Wonder what it would be like if you could also create a family that has those feelings that you long for. Doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to everybody in your life. Just mean a little bit of shifting, right? Because you matter. You matter 100 gazillion%. We only get this one life. Some of us believe when we die, we come back in a different way. So this version, whatever you believe, we're all going to die. We're not going to escape that, right? Someone yesterday was sharing in our group how there's a fear of death. And that's something, unfortunately, that happens a lot in our culture here in the United States, because death isn't something that we make as normal. We've become so disconnected from the process of death with funerals, right? And there's not being with the body through the processes. And in addition to that, if we have not had someone in our lives to hold us precious during times when people have died in our life, it would make sense. And if you've had a lot of death in your life, so again, can't change the past. But right now, if you start today, is the first day of the rest of your life. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Not living as if it's the last day. It's very fear-based. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What would you want it to look like? But more importantly, what would you want it to feel like? And it's okay if you don't know what that is yet, but at least ask the question and get curious. When you get curious, that's where it all begins. So now it's time for our breath break. Okay, my friends, you know what we need to do. Because it is a need for us to be breathing in a natural state, not in this fight, flight, freeze mode. There are no saber-toothed tigers. But if you're living in an area that doesn't feel safe, that could put you in that mode all the time. If you're working in an area where you have to be on all the time, it puts you in that space. And that is not healthy for our body all the time. But these breath breaks are so important. So please, please, please take care of yourself and create the practice of the safe container so that your body is going to start looking for places in your life and attracting more safe people, safe places, safe experiences. That's why we do this practice. There's many reasons. That's the one for today. I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Hand on heart. There you go. How are you feeling? I'm here to listen. Name those feelings. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Surprising can be, yes. Shocked. Mm. There's also some gratitude. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing and feeling rested. I'm feeling present, and I'm feeling grateful. Thanks for listening. Now let's get into the breathing part and remove some of those things that are not helpful for us right now. For those of you joining for the first time, or if you need a reminder, do 3 rounds of breath so we can come back to wherever we're going after this little recovery. The breath is what is going to connect our head to our heart, the rest of our body. Check in where it's tight and it doesn't feel right. For me, it's the back of my head. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze, I think. Whew. Excuse me. And then, okay, first round. You go first. Nourish you, and then you can nourish others. If you start from a place of lack and depleting, not going to be helpful to anybody. So, first round is for you, all of you. The second one, we go to that place in our body that's tight and doesn't feel right. Going to let some of that breath in there, some of that light. And the third one, for someone in your world who you know could use a little love, a little nourishment, a little care. Here we go. We're going to inhale through the nose for 3, hold for 5, exhale out the mouth for 7. Inhale, hold, exhale. Go to your body. Inhale for 3. Hold. Exhale. Final for the friend. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Excuse me. Got a lot I need to get out. Thank you for showing up. I'm going to get some water. Until next time. Hold on. Thank you. I'm back. I'm not going to rush off like that. How are you feeling right now? I'm feeling grateful that you waited. I'm feeling present. And I'm so happy that you showed up. I am going to get a cough drop though. So remember, you matter. Give yourself a hug. So important. 8 seconds a day. 8 people, at least 8 seconds. I think it's 20 seconds actually. 8 people, 20 seconds. And that's another way to get some medicine, some TLC for yourself. So if you don't have somebody to get that from today, thank you for giving it to me. And this is for you. We're going to do it for 20 seconds though tomorrow. You're so loved. You showed up. And that's what matters. Take good care. And I will see you, be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. Okay, we'll breathe at 3. Until then, take good care.